southbound. I've been hellbound, riding on the midnight train. Going too fast now, think I ought to slow down, standing in the pouring rain.
What's up, guys? Tristan and Tony back with another episode of the One Hell of a Life Outdoor Podcast. Today we got Donny, the aka Mullet Espey, on the podcast, the marketing director over at Frogg Toggs. We've had him on a couple times, and if you guys have been following the brand over the last year and a half since Donny's been on, there's just been a lot of excitement and a lot of cool things. So we're getting Donny on to talk about that, talk about some more about his journey in the outdoor industry, because that was kind of fun the first time we had him on to talk about some of that stuff. And I'm sure we'll get into all kinds of exciting things going on in the Frogg Toggs world. So,
dude, there's some cool stuff coming out from Frogg Toggs, and I'm going to start this podcast off with saying that just about everything that Tristan and I have been wishing for is on our wish list, and you guys are going to freaking love it. Good job, Donny.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, we just, little context. I just gave these guys a little extra preview. It's not known to the public yet, so got them a little worked up.
Oh yeah, for sure. Tell everybody, Donny, just a little background commercial on who you are, and if they didn't listen to that first podcast, short little journey of how you got to what you're doing now.
100%. My name's Don Espey. I've been working in the outdoor industry probably since 2019. Since my first job out of college, I've been working in the fishing industry mainly most of my life, with a little bit of an adventure to the country music side and just kind of lifestyle apparel and stuff. But I've worked for brands for like St. Croix, TFO, Rod Forge, and now I'm here at Frogg Toggs, and I love it. So it's been awesome. I think one thing I'm super passionate about and just grateful for is, as we get older, you always talk to people and what they wish they've done for career choices, and I truly don't think I have any regrets. I'm in a field I enjoy and love, and I get to spend every minute of it in it. So
that's awesome, man. I don't know if I asked you this the first time we had you on, but hearing you say that, I think getting into what you do is so like such a niche, right? Like, or working with anything in the outdoor industry. I think that's why we do a podcast. That's why people start a YouTube or whatever. It's like, because we all, at the end of the day, want to kind of carve our path someday, maybe to, have a foothold doing something in the outdoor industry. I mean, what advice would you give to somebody who's maybe 18 to 22, kind of in college, like looking at it like, hey, I would love to do something in the outdoor industry?
Yeah. I would say very upfront, like, unfortunately, portion of it is like luck, right? You have to just apply to the right thing at the right time. But to get started and make sure, luck is where opportunity meets preparation, right? Try to make sure, like, I joined the fishing team, right? That was one thing that anyone who had a marketing degree, I was one step ahead because I was on the fishing team. So any fishing company I applied to, I had one step up. Another thing that I thought was just going to be a job for beer money in college, right, was just working a couple hours here and there at Dick's Sporting Goods. Little did I know, on my resume, it shows retail experience in a field where all of those companies are trying to sell their products. So I think there's a lot of very easy, attainable jobs and clubs and events that can get you a edge on your resume. And you can meet people too. I didn't meet any reps or anything when I worked at Dick's Sporting Goods, but that's possible if you're at a local tackle shop. It's possible if you are the club captain and you're applying for sponsorships. Stuff like that, I think, really helps just to get your foot in the door. Going to trade shows. Now that I'm in the industry, that's where I make all of my connections. Is usually those trade shows is where you meet everybody. There's, events after the show that, just exhibitors are going to. And that's where I've met a lot of my personal friends, like guys who are coming to my wedding, I met at trade shows. So
that's awesome.
It's pretty cool. But for those guys who are trying to get into it, just try to get that edge and be ready to move across the country possibly, right? I think I got really lucky once again. Getting that first job is like the hardest part, but I got a job here in New York right out of college. Someone, local fishing company that made rods happened to just have an office here. So I applied, got it, worked great. But after that, I couldn't find a job in the industry for a year and a half, 2 years. I got lucky again. Another New York company had an opening, and I'm the only guy with experience kind of locally in the area. So that's how it works out again. Once again, I'm lucky. But like in between those 2 years of St. Croix and Douglas Rods, I applied to an internship at Shimano. And I made it to the final round of interviews. I got to talk to the CEO, and I talked to designers in Japan. We all FaceTimed in, and this job, the offering was I'd have to move to South Carolina from upstate New York to South Carolina. And then for an entire year, I would have to live in Japan.
Wow.
And work there
Holy
at the factory. And I don't know if that was 100% true or if that's just something they put in the interview process to try to maybe get out some guys who aren't super into it, but that was part of it. I didn't get that job. I don't know how far I made it. Obviously, I'm here, so it's okay. But I think the industry like that is, you get to work in a field that you love. You work a lot of weekends. Now, I never really complained about working weekends. Does it get in the way of family stuff sometimes? Yeah, but half the time I'm out on a Wednesday and I'm fishing and it's work. So you give and you take a lot. But back to the helping the guys at 18, just resume builders, no matter how small it is, any little advantage helps for sure.
Man, that's
great advice.
That's super great advice. And just like, kind of a testament to like the adversity side of staying motivated to want to do that again one day. That 1.5, 2 year gap could have just been like, whatever. I'm just going to go do sales.
Yeah. Well, and I think the important thing you hit on is no matter what industry you're in, the same rule applies. And that is when you get out and network, the hustlers, right? I'm going to talk from a sales perspective. Let's just say an insurance salesperson, right? It's one of the hardest jobs to do. And the only way they do that is by shaking hands. Yeah. And it couldn't be truer in our industry, Donny. I think you hit the nail on the head. It's just that you got to get out there and shake hands. And in our industry, it's the hunting and fishing industry, the outdoors industry, I guess I should say, is such a tight network. We've learned, that it's just, it's very trusting when you make the right connections, because we all typically are cut from the same cloth, right? And there's a little bit of comfort with that. And my goodness, if I was a hiring manager and I knew that Tristan came up to me and shook my hand at a show or one of my employees' shows or something like that, that's gonna
give you a step.
The step, you know what I'm saying? So great advice, man. That's killer.
Yeah, and I think just in today's day and age, social media wasn't anywhere where it was when I graduated college in 2019. I didn't have a TikTok account. I remember I just made, probably that senior year of college, I had just made a separate Instagram account for all my hunting and fishing stuff. I think now you can very easily get a job from that. Not even just making content, but being able to show that you're someone who knows how to showcase yourself along with the products that you use. I've already kind of shared a couple resumes or have asked people that I really enjoy their social accounts. I've asked for their resumes. So if someone else asks for a social content creator or a content creator or some pro staff guy, I have their resumes. So use your social as a tool and a resume. It's definitely not overlooked, I would say. For people like me in my position, I am looking for guys who know how to manage their social media account, because at some point I do think that's a full-time position at every company. That is a full-time position. So it's a great place to start too.
Yeah, no, you're 100% spot on. And I think kind of side note to that, like a lot of the people that like in the Frogg Toggs, just talking in the Frogg Toggs space, like I remember the first time you had us on, you were really just like, man, we got to build like the just like the reality of people showing people like doing stuff in Frogg Toggs. Authentically, you know, and I think that's one thing just in the last 6-8 months, like you've done a really good job of just, it seems like the folks that, you've brought on to like the Frogg Toggs team all kind of embody that vision,
Yeah, I'm just looking to surround the brand with people who have fun, because realistically, like that's what Frogg Toggs is all about. Like, yes, we're performance driven. Yes, we're like meant to make sure you can get on the water without breaking your bank, but realistically, like fishing, if you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. If you're duck hunting and you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. Like everything we kind of help you do, or at least make you comfortable in, you should be having fun. And that's just what I want to showcase, you know?
Wow. That's perfect. That is so perfect, because that just ties into the whole social mentality that we talk about day to day all the time when we're on this podcast. And that is just about, if you're out for limits, or if you're out for bags or harvest numbers or whatever, you're missing the point. So that's good stuff. So what you're trying to say is, because my old butt will get out there and make a snow angel, that's the reason why that you still let us be a part of the team.
I definitely kept you around a little bit longer because you got the new puppy, but
All right. Well, maybe not if you met her, Donny.
Boy.
she's you know what, I've learned real quick about having my new puppy, and we could maybe go back and forth on our puppies here, and that is this. I've got one that the drive is crazy. It's crazy, and just it's me trying to harness that, right, where you don't break them down in the discipline side of it and still maintain that drive. And it's funny, because I'm always like all of our whole family members are always just like, even at 53, I'm probably the most hyper person and most energetic person out of all of us. And, you know, I kind of feel like God gave me this dog on purpose.
To match your energy.
Yeah, just to match my energy, and just say, hey, guess what? There's somebody a little bit faster and a little bit more complicated than you are, and making me deal with her. But it's an interesting journey, and I'm super excited about it. What about you?
dogs are great, man. I have wanted a dog my entire life. My family never had a dog growing up. I just, like, from day one have just wanted a dog, and we got him. My fiance loves him. I love him. He is definitely energetic, but we just
Experience the best of Florida's Forgotten Coast with Williamson Outfitters, offering professionally guided fishing charters and coastal adventures. From chasing inshore favorites like redfish, trout, and tripletail to heart-pounding shark charters, every Williamson Outfitters trip is led by a seasoned, licensed captain with true local expertise. Book one of their many popular experiences like nearshore mahi-mahi fishing, nighttime flounder gigging, scalloping in St. Joe Bay, or wild alligator hunting. Whether you're planning a family vacation, a trip with friends, or a corporate retreat, Williamson Outfitters' fleet of well-equipped boats and experienced guides deliver first-class outdoor adventures for anglers and sportsmen of all ages and experience levels. Call or text Captain Chris at 850-251-8650 or visit floridaducks.com to reserve your charter today. Williamson Outfitters, making the Forgotten Coast unforgettable.
got a shock collar, and that has been by far the greatest change I've ever witnessed in an animal. I've only shocked him twice, and you lay the groundwork so they understand every command, and when he's paying attention, he knows every single command to a T. You know, I go like this, he goes flying his tail. Go like that.
When he's paying attention.
When he's paying attention. So now he's got this little collar around his neck, and I shocked him one time after he tried to get into the street. I kept him away from the street. Now he knows this thing's on there. I beep it once, stares at me. I do the command. It's done. He is doing it to a T as quick as he can. So it's been great. We just did bumper training for the first time. He's got retrieved down, no problem. Healed down, no problem. He kind of gets, when I'm giving him a little point, he kind of gets the idea. But there's a lot to be done. But he's showing a lot of promise. So I'm gonna give it a shot myself. And if he turns into a house dog, I'll buy another one.
Hey, Donny, you know what? We'll just we'll side by side each other on that one, because I just made the decision to do the same thing myself, and I just kept having people going, well, why are you sending him to a trainer? And I'm like, because I'm so militant, and I don't mean militant from like a
mean standpoint.
Like a mean standpoint.
Yeah.
I'm just very structured, and so when somebody says you need, like Forrest Gump, says to the drill sergeant says, why'd you put the gun together so fast? I'm like, because you told me to. You know what I mean? And that's just the way I'm geared. And so when somebody said to me, oh, you need to train him every day, I'm out training her every day. You know what I mean? And that kind of thing. And you see the results of that. You know that. And I'm just excited. I just told Tristan yesterday, I said, I got to get her, because I've been watching Freddie King stuff. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I got to start right now is the perfect time. I got to start her on collar conditioning. So I'm excited to see what those results will yield.
Yeah, it's been great for us. Even in the house, he's just been turned into a headache to an angel. How much of a transition it's been.
That's
for
great.
us. Off leash, he's amazing. Everything's great.
That's cool.
That's-
And what's his name again?
Cash.
Cash. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, this is a little pillow of him right here.
That's
Oh,
great.
nice. Have you started working any of the sound stuff in with him yet? Or like what's
Like audio.
Yeah, like any
you talking
sort
about
of-
whistles and stuff.
Yeah, some people are like, oh, clap wood together when they're doing stuff or whatever it might be.
Yeah, when he was a
Have been-
puppy, when he would eat, I would slam pots and pans together, so he got used to like loud noises and stuff like that. I had a cap gun. When we were out in the yard, I'd walk around, pop it off a couple times. He doesn't really seem to care. Every once in a while, some new sound will catch him off guard, but it's not like he gets scared and tucks his tail and doesn't want to do anything for the next 20 minutes. But yeah, no, he doesn't have an issue with that. I've been trying to do my best with hand signals to make sure he knows hand signals, and then I can yell here and stuff pretty loud, but I've just always really appreciated a guy who can whistle a dog in. So most of his commands also come with a whistle too. So, whether it's, whatever it is, I can just kind of bring him in with that. And that's, I don't know, from people who don't know hunting dogs, I feel like that's just a huge flex when you're out in public. You just whistle and your dog comes flying in.
Well, and
that is true.
Well, and I think that something that you're really getting into here. I think that I've respected about. I want to use Kade. You remember meeting Kade from Delta Thunder. He's got a dog named Tucker, and he told the trainer. He said, "Look, I don't need a dog that goes out and does. I need to blow whistle and say back and do all this stuff." He goes, "I want a dog that's going to listen to my commands." And he goes, and get downwind of whatever he's hunting, smell it, and retrieve it. And it's crazy because I've seen it work both ways in great succession. But Tucker understands Kade, his director, I guess you should say, or his owner, and Kade will mark him downwind of something, and that's where he'll go. And so many times we've seen it on tons of retrieves where the only reason why he's picking up that bird is because he knows how to get downwind of it. And I've watched that work great, and I've watched where people, send their dog out there and they hit the whistle and the dog turns around and they right, left, back, all that stuff. And from an easy standpoint, I hope that my dog acts a little bit more like Tucker.
Yeah, the dog differences I see is like the ones that watch for the birds to hit the ground and the ones that watch the birds fly. Like I think that's usually a big difference. And I think on my house here, I'm maybe 200 yards from the Hudson River, so all season it is just geese, ducks. Like they're landing in my yard, they're in the neighbor's pond behind the house, so. He gets to see so much waterfowl in the air all the time while we're walking around. So I'm hoping that translates.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it does or not, I have no clue. But I'm hoping he can kind of at least start to witness, like, okay, I know those are the things that'll get shot down eventually. I better keep my eye on them, But
Donnie,
we'll
do you
see.
see? This is just one order to another. Do you see obviously they're still puppies still. And like the other day, I took her out back fishing, and I grabbed the fishing rods. And she looks at me and she kind of put her ears down. I'm like, bro, what is wrong with you? Like, we've been out on this boat several times, but I don't know if I like grabbed it too fast or something like that. But for like 2 days, she was looking at me like every time I grabbed the fishing pole, like she was going to get her ass beat. I was like, so then I thought, okay, the next time I grab my fishing poles, I'm going to have some treats in my pocket. And when I pull it out, I'm just going to be like, fishing rod, yay!
I
then
haven't had stuff like specific items that he gets nervous of. There's been like a few corners of our walking path, like around the neighborhood, where a dog is usually just some little just going crazy at him, and he gets like a little hesitant there when he's a puppy. So like, there's certain corners he kind of like wants to take the long way around.
Sounds like a smart dog.
But once the dog's back out, he's bigger. It's when it's me and my fiance take him for a walk, he feels a little more confident. And whenever he kind of gets a little scared, I usually try to get him to sit, stay, feed him a treat. Like, hey, this area is safe. We're good to go. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But I haven't had like items, I guess, specifically give him kind of a scare. Yesterday, I tried to get him to place. He does place really well, but we haven't done like on a platform or anything while retrieving. So I took my Yeti out. I'm like, oh, I get him to go on here, and he jumped up on it, and immediately tipped over. All of his, paws went up in the air. So like, okay, we're not going to be able to do this. You gave it your best shot. But
yeah, and my wife she just bought like this new whatever it is, Shark something vacuum, low decibels, all this stuff, and I turned it on low, and I don't know. There's just I think just about I don't care. We used to have a 128-pound rot that would be like, you got that vacuum on? I'm going in the other room, you know. And that's one thing she's kind of weird about with that stuff. But I think they just get used to what you're around, and more importantly than they just feel your energy. You know what I mean?
I would agree with that. Whatever kind of emotions I'm reflecting, he usually falls around. Like if I'm just vacuuming with the vacuum, he likes to sniff it a little bit. He'll fall around, but I'm like, Cash, get out of here. Leave it. And he's like, okay, I don't need to worry about that thing. I'll go do mine. And then I vacuum and he stops bothering me. But like the Roomba downstairs, if, I'm upstairs working and he's like, here's some noises downstairs, and he goes and like, dude, this thing's been here like before you got here. It's probably safe, but every once in a while he just randomly messes with it. I don't know if it bites onto his favorite toy or does whatever, but he picks a fight with the vacuum probably once a month.
Man, it's an incredible journey, and I think the at least what I'm getting so far personally from that journey is just a little bit of a humbling experience. But I just ever since I first understood a horse, I've been able to feel like understand animals, and I got like humbled to death by a horse that felt everything that I was thinking, but I never said it. And the owner told me that, and I didn't believe him. And then I got thrown from the horse, and all these other things happened. And then I was like, okay, now I'm a believer, And I think that's an important part that a lot of people don't understand. I'm not trying to speak for professional dog trainers, but I think a lot of dog trainers would understand that there is a sense of understanding that I don't know if I want to call it spiritual or vibe or what you want to call it, but there's something there that they can feel and sense in everything you do.
Yeah, I think they just have a sixth sense. They can't talk, so they got to read body language.
Yep.
I think that's what it kind of goes down to. And Cash can definitely feel it when he's, he literally today just pissed in my laundry room. No reason. The tone of voice was definitely a little argumentative from my side. I'm sure he felt that. But,
right.
When he's happy, good, the ears come back and the tail starts wagging. And, you can say, Cash, I love you. You're the greatest dog ever. But if you say it with an angry tone, he's not going to know what the heck's going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, dogs are awesome.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, it's yours. Like, I think you got yours like within a week or two after he got Ike. I mean, it was pretty. They're got to be pretty close to the same age.
Yeah, I think you guys. Did you pick yours up like last week in July?
Yeah, I picked him up right after Ducks. Yeah.
Literally the day we left Ducks, I picked her up.
Yeah.
So I think we're about 2 months apart. Cash was born July 16th, and I picked him up like September 10th.
Okay, yeah, she was born May 1st.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it's interesting stuff. I'm glad I'm getting to enjoy it from afar because we have 2 cats. So until they're gone, we're not dogs aren't even on the table.
And a pregnant mama.
Yeah, and especially with a newborn on the way.
Yeah, you're skipping the dog phase and going right to newborn.
Dude, I know, right? Like, but my argument's always been like, look, let's get like a toddler, and then we can't just up and leave at that point anyway. So what's a dog? At that point.
Yeah,
that's right.
We'll see. I don't know, but
man, something I wanted to get into a little bit is that we were talking about before we got on the podcast. One of the things that Donny said to us was that the focus was so much on having fun. Mm-hmm. What you're doing in the outdoors, in the fishing or hunting industry, that kind of stuff, and how they're trying to tie into all of that. And, obviously, we talk about it all the time. It's just like, if you're not having fun doing this, whatever you're doing, then do something else because it's not right for you. But I think, like from the outsider looking in, and I say this from a standpoint of a 53-year-old person that I cannot, for the life of me, absorb as much social media as you younger folks can. I try, and dude, I try. And like, I don't know how many times I get pissed because I'm like, dude, how'd Tristan like that? I just liked it 1 minute after the post. And Tristan already liked it. I'm just like, so I tried. But, man, talk about you guys, some of the things that you've been doing from a fun standpoint, from golfing in waders to going to New York City to, I mean, some of these things.
Kyle and the rain.
Yeah, dude. All these things, dude. They're intentional, but they're fun and it's hilarious. And man, just talk about some of that stuff, like what's going on there, because it's fun to watch, honestly.
Yeah, the New York one was good too.
Yeah, the New York was so unique and awesome.
Each one kind of has its own story, right? So I'll kind of just go into like the New York one's really specific. Frogg Toggs, right? Not seen as high end, not like these risks, like things that I'm trying to change the portrayal of from the consumer eye. And we were going to have this big edit. Everyone was coming up to New York to my house. We all stayed at my house, and we're going to hunt the Hudson River. And hunting was horrendous. I don't think we killed a duck in like 2 days of hunting. Didn't see a duck. And I was like, well, guys, let's just get some product shots and like do stuff what we can. And Zach Bosis, our camera guy, was like, what if we just go to New York City and walk around? And I'm like, I have not been in New York City since, I don't know, maybe high school, and I do not enjoy it. It's a bus trip down. I've never driven in. I see it as too many people, right? Like every stereotype you could think of, I'm like, it's so true. I can't go down there.
Yeah.
And I was like, everyone's like, we got to do it. We got to do it. I'm like, okay, all right, let's do it. I drive down. Doesn't take too long. We get down there, and I drove right into Times Square, did a lap in Times Square in my car, found a parking lot within 5 minutes, parked, paid, got in the hotel. And I'm like, this is the easiest place to park ever. So the trip was super fun. We had a really good dinner. And then we just walked around waders. And the funny, crazy thing is we didn't get crazy looks. We had one guy ask us, are you from Frogg Toggs? And he was going up north to the Salmon River to fish. And he had just purchased a set of waders from Frogg Toggs.
Oh, no kidding.
That was the only interaction we had. And it was a guy who owns a pair of waders and was going fishing the next day.
That just goes to show how crazy New York City must be all the time for like guys to just like not even get looks.
You're talking about
next to guys dressed as Elmo, a gorilla, Disney princesses. It's like here's a guy wearing weird pants. Yeah, that's crazy.
That's mild.
That's so
but
great.
It's stuff like that. And then as far as like skits go, I mean, every minute, every day, I have half my brain is focused on work, the other half is just daydreaming, and that's what comes up with half the stuff. Whether it's skits like Kyle, half of that's you're on a trip and you're sitting down watching TV and you're like, I should be doing something, not just watching TV. Like, let's do something. We can come up with something funny. We're funny people. We can do it. So, like I kind of play Kyle. We start off. Kyle's like, let's do this idea, and Kyle's like very quickly like trying to come up with a skit. And I'm like, yo, Zach, let's do our own. And so I'm like, all right, Kyle, here's the idea. We need to show how good these rain suits are. Like, it's really heavy rain. Just go stand out there, and then I'm going to ask you questions about the suit. And he goes out there, and I'm like, yeah, just get more wet. Stand where it's more wet. Like, halfway through, he could kind of tell, so he played into it. But I don't know. It's funny stuff like that. Showing, one, you're showing a product. You always need to kind of show a product. But two, you're showing, like, hey, we're just people, and we play, like, we don't take it that seriously.
Exactly.
But yeah, every other TikTok, it's, talk about social media. I can't believe how much content a company like Frogg Toggs needs to produce on a daily basis. If you want to talk, you have rainwear, wadewear, footwear, cooling products, bags and packs, clothing, accessories, and now we even have rain jackets for your dog. Yeah, so every single one is a separate category that should really have its own social calendar. That should also have its own email calendar, its text calendar, and every calendar I just mentioned needs 2 to 3 things a day for each category. So it's just content has really turned into, like I talked about that social media position. Like it's a huge driver, and you might think you need, I need photos for posting. It's like, we need photos for the website. You need photos for emails. Like there's just so much content out there that like 90% of my day I'm just thinking about how can I make a video about this shoe? How can you photograph a shoe? How can you do this for the shoe? So it's just when you're thinking that repetitively about that many different things, and you're, every once in a while I call like a people will catch me scrolling on TikTok and it's like, what are you doing? I'm like, first off, research. Okay. This is all research.
What are you doing on your
so,
phone?
You know,
I'm handling
through,
business.
and if I see a good video, I usually save it. And when I'm watching TikTok, not like I'm always thinking about how can I spin that for me, right? I'll see a funny skit and it's a guy, you know, something about beer. It's like you can do the same thing for a bass. You can do the same thing for a shoe. So I try to spin it my way. So I like that when I am, you know, consuming TikTok, like yes, I'm just watching it, but like I am thinking about ways I can spin it for my brand. Spin it for, you know, if I see a guy do a garage tour, okay, I'm gonna go do a garage tour myself. Like, content's just huge, and there's so much to talk about, and it's overwhelming, but it's fun.
Yeah,
Donnie, real quick, Tristan, I just want to say this. On that note, is that you know, we were doing a little skit in a blind earlier this year, and Tristan was doing one off of Step Brothers, and the guy in the blind was like, if I hear, did you touch my drum set one more freaking time, bro? He goes, I'm going to freaking lose my shit.
Yeah, because you know how you're trying to get it to time up, right? So, like, I had to keep restarting it, and then to get to the second point of it, you got to hear, like, the first point of it.
He goes, I'm going to go home to Chicago, and all I'm going to hear is, did you touch my drum set?
I feel like an iPad kid because 90%, like, when I go hunting, I bring my AirPods strictly for that reason, just to pop one in. But then the biggest issue is when you edit that video and you're on Bluetooth, the sound is off just by a little bit. Yeah. So you have to go speaker. Once you're like, you think you're kind of close, then you got to go speaker. Yeah. Because the Bluetooth always has it off just a little bit.
Yep.
So that's kind of curious just how you manage the time with like all the social media stuff. Because I feel like I can't relate, but I kind of can, just in the sense of like, I don't have a full job around like social media stuff, but I have a full day job. So then when I don't have my day job, I'm always like, how can I like maximize the time? Because there's never enough time in the day. Because I do all of our stuff and try to do my best with all that stuff. But I also work with a YouTuber guy taking his Facebook reels and cutting them up and putting them on his Facebook page.
All right, guys, if you've been listening to us for a while, you know we love Frogg Toggs waterfowl gear. But did you know they don't just make waterfowl gear? They make some incredible fishing organization like the Frogg Toggs Tackle Vault 3600. That's one of our personal favorites. Also, the FTX Elite Series is great if you fish hard and need something to hold up to the elements. And what about footwear? Yeah, guys, Frogg Toggs has you covered there. Everything from hunting boots to deck boots to fishing shoes to casual stuff like the Java 2.0 and flip-flops. I can go on and on, but honestly, you just need to head over to frogtoggs.com and use code OneHellOfALifeOutdoors for 15% off your order.
So, like, with him, what I'll try to do is, like, I'll get everything done on Sunday and schedule it all week, you know, and try to do, like, a reel or two per day and kind of try to do that as much as I can with our stuff. But what are some, like, things you do to try to just be more efficient with? Because, I mean, probably never enough time in the day.
Yeah, and for me, I personally don't schedule a lot of stuff. The only things I kind of schedule are things like release dates or like things that I'm not looking for a social engagement on, right? I want people to see it. That's why I got to get it out there. But I'm not thinking like, oh, this will go viral, right? So those are the things I scheduled. Our Friday posts. That's usually when I can, you know, Wednesday, I'm like, oh, I got my 5 images, you know, Frogg Toggs, schedule that. That's up for Friday. Yeah. But I usually day of, you know, like, okay, you got to make a post. I'll scroll through. I try to find an audio I like or an idea that I like, and I make it that day just so it's relevant. I feel like sometimes you can schedule something on a Monday and Friday it's kind of already dead. So I try not to schedule as much. When making stuff, I very rarely just kind of like day by day, like, oh, you know, like I say, let's make a TikTok. I sometimes just get in a groove and I'll rip out 10 posts. It's like, oh, I just got a bunch of new footage in. Let me I'll use CapCut sometimes. Like there's good trending blueprints or whatever they're called on there that like, this looks good. I don't care if it's CapCut. If people want to call me out for using CapCut, no problem. It's a good video. It's trendy. People recognize this trend. I'm fine with that. It looks good because we got good clips, not just because it's edited good, right? Yeah. So I'll make those on there. And then from there, I try to create as much repeatable stuff like that Friday post. If I have a Monday one, I haven't really thought of it. I'm still thinking on it. But on the Frogg Toggs side, it's really just as stuff comes in, I make as many posts out of it as I can. And then we'll post those because we go on photo shoots 1 to 2 times a month. So when I get all that stuff in, I'll make as many as I can and go for it. And then if I see a trend later on, I'll copy the trend. But on a personal level, I'm trying to get into it more myself on TikTok. Whatever I'm kind of doing, then I think like I'm a gearhead. I like to do things efficiently. Like I'm always trying to find like I cook eggs a certain way because I think that's the best way to cook eggs. Right? It's not,
Amen.
So every little thing I think like someone would appreciate this tip. Someone might have something to say on this subject. Right? Anytime you think there's something to be said or done on what you're doing, I think that's where you try to document it. And
like people waving to you in their neighborhood, bro. I love that. I'm like, oh, there's 8 people in this HOA.
Drives me nuts.
Bro. I was like, I just told Tristan that before we got you on. I was like, did you see his post on that? I'm like, I've been like about that for years.
Drives me nuts. We have good neighbors in here, but it's not from when I grew up as a kid. It's just so much
That's
different.
Right.
But
well, maybe because we're gotten off of country roads more and into HOAs, you know what I mean? Because if you're on a country road in Georgia, you wave. If like somebody might turn around and chase you down if you don't wave back.
I think it really does have to do with COVID. Not to get into a huge COVID thing, but it's just like you go however many days we did without seeing people. Like
true.
Like they say, how many days does it take to do a routine, to like set a routine? Is it 15 days or whatever? If you do it 15 days in a row, you set the routine. Well, every single person went how many days without waving or talking to somebody, so that just kind of set the routine, and that's just where people's brains are at. It's not really, I don't hate my neighbors for not waving at me.
Well, I'm going to change that whole demeanor, and from now on, I'm going to wear a mask and drive by people and wave.
I just can't believe the negative comments I got on that. Like, people like, yeah, bro,
I know.
I people all day, and I don't want to people at home. What the hell does that mean? What does that even mean?
I people all day and I don't want to people at home.
My life isn't your business. Dude, I'm just saying hi.
Right.
You don't even have to say your name.
Kind of...
Yeah. I'm not even talking to you.
It's literally a controversial
subject.
Yeah, waving to people. Don't do it.
Oh, my God.
You cannot. There's some more advice right there. You can't read the comments.
Can't please them all.
You can't please them all.
100%. So the other thing about social media, right, is like you'll make posts that flop or they don't do good, or people are like, wow, this stinks, right? People won't remember the stinky one. They're just going to remember the giants. Yeah, so always keep posting, no matter what you have, like throw it up there. I've been trying to do that more myself. Like, is it probably getting sent around to 1 or 2 people like, wow, look at this idiot? Probably. Do I care about those opinions? Absolutely not. Right? So we're talking about it. You guys think it's funny. I enjoy the entertainment. Just post what you have. And everybody says this on social media, but it is true. It's like the more you post, and I've been making content and getting on podcasts and doing stuff like this, and I still don't like seeing myself on camera or like hearing myself talk. And it's been, I don't know, 8 years of it. And I'm still not super used to it. So just do it as much as you can, and you'll get more and more comfortable. And like, perfect example, and I'm happy to shout him out, is Dawson.
That's who I was just going to say.
I met Dawson last year at Delta Waterfowl, and he is still doing the same exact thing, right? He has not changed anything. He was at, I think, 10,000 followers. And I saw him, and it's like, oh, this kid's just talking about stuff. He's cool. Oh, that's a good topic. Yeah, that's a good opinion. Yeah, I like this guy. And he said he was coming to Delta. I shot a message, hey, got your pass, come stay with us, no problem. I'll show you around, introduce you to everybody. Okay, sweet. Now he's at 60K on TikTok, and he's just doing the same exact thing. And I'm not saying it's like that it's bad. It's consistent, and he posts every single idea. When he comes on content shoots with us, where's Dawson? I'm like, oh man, this guy's peeing a lot, right? He's just in the bathroom. He's off just filming a TikTok. As soon as he has an idea, instead of like, oh, I write stuff down, and then I go to my list and I'm like, oh, it's on Saturday, right? I want to shoot a bunch of TikToks. I don't really want to do that. No, I don't really want to do that one either. He just, idea, goes outside, gets his phone. Do you guys remember the time? Like,
yeah, he does.
Filming him, and he's grinding it, and it's like that's the mentality right now of content. And if you think about how Instagram was at first, right? You needed one epic photo to make it to the Explore page, and then people followed you and they shared it, and there wasn't even stories yet. So you had to get shared by DM. And I don't even know if they had messages. You would just like it. And you had to get on the Explorer page to be seen. Now it's like the content has shifted. It was video for a while. And then it was really high-end, high-produced edits. Those are still super valuable. But now the high-end edits, you're not seeing vertical anymore, right? You're seeing horizontal edits. So that's a change in the media. Now in influencers, you needed like John B, for example, has done like really, really good job on like cinematic intros to his videos and stuff like that. And he was huge in the influencer space, still is probably one of the biggest YouTube fishermen on the planet. But I think the TikTok realm has really taken over in just being relatable. Really quick, snappy little videos, just like Dawson does. It's relatable, it's trustworthy, and it's just unfiltered, not in the sense that it's crazy, but it's unfiltered in the sense of like, I don't need to overproduce what I want to talk about.
Right.
And I think that's one thing consumers really, really enjoy is people like Dawson who will just get in front of their phone and talk.
Yeah, no, that's what I was gonna say. Is just his relatability and just being vulnerable too. Like that's you can see why he's having the success he is. And one of the things you just touched on that like probably about I don't know, the last 6 or 8 months or maybe a year ago, I had like ego check myself on it because like being like trying to always get better with like creating videos on my own. Like you have this idea in your head, like you want to put out this badass edit, and you'll spend 3 hours on something, and then it'll flop. But then it's like, I'll take like the dumbest iPhone video, and it gets 100 times more engagement. So it's like kind of like an ego check thing where I was talking to somebody the other day. I was like, I had to just be like, you know what? Screw it. I don't even care anymore. I'm just gonna, like, some of the stuff that does the best is just like, he snuck our buddy Kade's dog a treat the other day out the window, and we posted on Facebook, and I want to say it like did over 100K on there, and it's like
all I was doing is when you sneak your buddy a dog treat, and then
Yeah.
everybody was worried about the dog in the background. Did he get a treat too? You know, you son of a gun, you gave that dog a treat but guess what? Last time I was out there, I did a part 2.
Oh, nice.
It's getting ready to come. Yeah, I'm like part 2. Tucker getting snuck a treat. Kate doesn't know about it.
The biggest thing with content too, and I think people without noticing, like this is where I think I tend to do a halfway decent job. It's all just off opinion, so I like to tell myself it's a good job. Your eyes witness things before your brain processes them. And what I mean by that is like your eyes will know it's a camera, not a phone video, right off the rip. It just knows. So right off the rip, right, your brain is very quickly, because you're scrolling, you're just flipping through. Yeah. Is it an ad or is it a video? Should I watch? Before you even think about your finger touching it. So I think that's where the overproduced stuff sometimes happens, because you see like ads for, you know, big brands, Nike, whoever it is, and it's like vertical, high edit ad. It's like, oh, it's an ad flip. That's why I think the nice vertical are going horizontal now, because they're not going to run a horizontal ad. So I think the horizontal edits now are doing better, because you're like, oh, this is this could be good. Let me take a look at this. Let me turn my phone, right? That was a big trend for a while. Now I think people just
put the
want
icon on it, rotate phone.
Now I think like people are just looking for stuff like Dawson, so they expect a phone camera. Or the other part of the phone camera stuff is stuff like what you guys experience. It's just relatable, real life stuff that was just happened to be caught third person.
Right.
Like there's things like that. That's why I think the iPhone clips work really good, and they immediately your eye will know it's just a clip being made from someone's phone before you even know to like not engage or engage. So that's the big question.
Let's kind of break this down for a second, and that is, are we psychologically going that way because of AI? And what I mean by that is that I see these clips. I'm just talking innocently from a 53-year-old surfing social media guy. So many times I see something that's like super high quality or something like that, and I'm like, that's AI, that's AI, that's AI. If something doesn't look as high quality, or maybe people, Ike, what are you doing?
Go down.
Come here. Here, heel. Come here, heel. Good girl. You sit. Good girl.
The AI
is it maybe when you notice something that's not as high quality, is that people like in that instant reaction are going, it's not AI or something? I mean, I'm just bringing that up as
for me.
Maybe.
And I try to do as much self-reflection on like I'll like stuff and I'll go back to my likes and like break it down. Why did I like this? And
That's
every
smart.
video I post, I try to see when's the big drop off, right? What was the average time watched? And like at 6 seconds, I go there and I'm like, okay, well they 9 seconds. That's halfway decent. Why'd they drop right here? And it's like the music was off, the beat was off. They like left right there. Or this clip, every clip before that was a second and a half. This one was 2.2. That's why they left. That clip was just a touch too long. Like I'd kind of break it down to that, but when it comes to the AI stuff, I think I have a really good eye. Like, I don't think there's anything that I've seen where I'm like, it's, the person's foot you're looking at, or it's like there's a weird texture where it looks like they're trying to use like a stabilizer, but that's not what it is. It's just AI. Like, the audio, I think, is the biggest tell for most AI stuff. But I think the biggest thing of why people want to see a phone clip is think about like the Snapchat. Every time you see a Snapchat video come across your feed, you are guaranteed to watch at least 4 more seconds. And what I mean by that is that text with that gray bar.
Mm-hmm.
When that comes across your screen, everyone is guaranteed more likely to stay and watch that video. Because when do you pull your phone out to Snapchat? When your buddy's about to do something stupid.
Yeah.
Right? That's like the number one thing. Like, oh my God, look at this guy. Like every deep beaver dam jump video in a duck boat. It's filmed on a Snapchat, usually, and it's got the gray line. So I think stuff like that, like there's a huge trend for a while, and we did it a couple times, but it's like, why is this guy filming my car? Or why is this guy filming a puddle when he's supposed to be here filming my car? And then it goes to just a super good car edit. Like you use the hook, and they talk about hooks, and it sounds like over marketed bullcrap, but the hook is important when you are fighting for, how many videos do you watch a day, Tristan? Like
oh my
thousands?
God.
Like,
yeah, probably. Yeah, that's bad.
And how do you make your one video stand out on top of those 1,000? So the hook is super important. I try to kind of beat it with really good visuals or fish catches or duck kills, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I have Zach, right? Zach is, I would say, the best videographer I've ever seen. And some of his every time he posts on his page, people know what to expect, and it goes viral. It's amazing. He does a lot of work for us that like kind of flops, and it's not because it's a bad video.
Sure.
Our audience, for some reason, for Frogg Toggs, TikTok is just not pushing us to the same people Zach gets pushed to.
Right.
And so I think for us, it's more on the funny skit side. It's a little bit less serious. And then like iPhone clips with a bunch of texts like, boy, don't you hate it when you forget your sandwich at home on a fishing trip? And people are like, oh my God, yeah, that stinks.
Yeah.
Right? I think there's so many different realms of who your videos are going out to. You kind of have to tailor to them.
Yeah, and that's exactly kind of where I feel like a lot of our stuff falls a lot of times is like, for whatever reason, like the stuff that I try the hardest on doesn't do the best. But, the other thing too is if I do the stuff I've had better success with the high quality stuff is like one video, 7 to 10 seconds, words on it that are like whatever, versus 20 seconds of like all this cool stuff.
Well,
everything's time based. So like when you're reading that sentence, read it to yourself. Like, okay, that sentence took me 6 seconds every single time I read it. So at 5 seconds, you should have a camera switch. So then, like, they're still trying to finish that sentence. They didn't get it the first time, but they were super close, and they kind of got the context of the video, so they watched the rest of the video to get back to the beginning when they can finish that sentence.
That's
or
really
they have to reload it.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Yeah, basically, yeah. No,
that's
like
it's just a weird manipulative science. It really is manipulative.
And think about this too. Like to I never thought about this, Tristan, but this applies to anybody that is in content creation, I guess, that you always have that one, or you have ones that you think that are going to be great, and you spend so much time on it because you care so much about the quality of what's coming out, right, to support your brand, your business, whatever it is. And the thing is that the people that are watching it, they might not, their eye isn't geared towards, I'm only going to look at stuff that is high quality, and maybe that the social media folks are figuring that out a little bit. You know what I mean? That they say, well, what's the normal person look at? You know what I mean? Whether it's high quality or not, like, of course, you always want to put out the best that you can put out. But I think that makes sense to me, like logically. You know what I mean? Because the average person isn't able to do that or isn't doing that.
Yeah, it's like not creating content for like myself creating content for 99% of what people want to see, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
I try to look at as many, like, there's a lot of creators out there, like, okay, I feel like videos that, like, for a lot of creators, the lights are usually off in the room, they're using the flash on their phone, right? Like, what are reasons that are, like, setting those guys apart than someone who's doing, you know, a similar skit in their office that's nicely lit, right? There's so many different things that I don't know if it's just, oh, I know these guys, I'm going to stay here, I don't care how they film it. Or if it's like they got attraction because of the way they film it. Now they have an audience.
Right, kind of like a guy like Southern Lawn Daddy or whatever. Like, you're gonna watch every video because, I mean, just who it is, you know.
Yeah.
Or Richie, that dude with the
did he start talking funny because he did one video and it did good, or like does he play it up? Does he play it down? Like, there's so much different stuff. And then he started using that one filter, and he's used that filter every single time.
The Bahama,
like,
whatever.
Yeah, like, is that why people stop, because they like see that filter, or, you know, I don't know.
Well,
that's the stuff that just drives my brain nuts.
Oh, dude, I bet. Yeah, I've never even been so like analytical with it, but I'm sure it's a rabbit hole.
Big time.
One thing that won't leave my brain, that since you've said it, and I think you said the number one YouTuber said it, is that if you put a purple cow in a field of white cows, you're going to get views. You know what I mean? And that's, I always just, in my brain, whether I'm talking right or not, again, I'm being humble about being 53 in social media. I'm just saying that makes so much logical sense. If you can find the purple cow, whatever that is.
And you got to do the purple cow in a tasteful way, right? I'm not going to do a video where it's like, oh my God, our boat's sinking. Just kidding. Here's a tackle box. Right?
No clickbait crap.
Yeah. So you try to do it in a tasteful way where people are like,
what's up, guys? If you want coffee that doesn't suck, you probably can guess what I'm going to say. Get the Duck. Dirty Duck Coffee is the official coffee of the One Hell of a Life Outdoor podcast, and they have a great lineup of different coffee blends, everything from Morning Wood and First Flight to Dark Dynasty and Suns Up, Guns Up. You can't go wrong with Dirty Duck Coffee. And they have a great lineup of cold brew cans, mocha, French vanilla, original cold brew, and cinnamon teal snickerdoodle. If you want 15% off your next order, use code OneHellOfALife15 on your next order.
Like, wow, this brand's really cool and their products look like a really good utility item, instead of just like, they do stupid gimmicks to get views. Their social views are off the charts, but they don't sell anything, right? So there is a huge difference. For your personal side, views, followers, and comments and stuff are all you need. But how do you make good content that's, you know, viral, or at least gets viewed a lot, that also transitions to sales?
Yeah, that's sustainable. You know, that's going to promote you. Like, define who you are in your brand or your initiative or whatever that is.
Yeah, and even if you don't make the sale, did you at least get a good impact on that person? Like, well, that was cool.
Right.
Yeah, because I would imagine, especially with like where you guys are at with Frogg Toggs, I mean, you're in Walmart, you're in Academy. Like, it's not just like so much of the world we live in. There's so many people that are, you know, they might see that Frogg Toggs video and walk into Academy and buy whatever product, but it's hard to track that. But like the net positive of putting anything out is kind of where you guys live too, versus just an e-commerce brand.
And I would say the marketing, once again, has transitioned from when I started. Like, I used to get drilled a lot of like, yeah, we got 10,000 views, but how much sales did we get? You know, but like, I think a lot more companies appreciate now. It's like 10,000 views. That's all I need to hear. I know that is going to lead to something at some point.
Yeah.
Right. And if you got a good product, we all know and I know you know this from being in marketing, and Donnie, is that it's called movie marketing. It's called viral marketing. There's no more powerful marketing than a good product, a good movie, a good song, all those things. And if you back that up with that, that's when I believe that just with any line, you see product explosion, right? You know, and I mean, honestly, that's kind of what got me into Frogg Toggs, you know, when I heard about the breathable waders, you know, I mean, it started there, you know, so, and then it backed up what my expectations were, and it was a good product, and here we are today, thank God. So, but you know, I think that's a very powerful point you break, is that, you know, at the end of the day, you got to be real with whatever. To have that longevity in followers, you gotta be true.
Yeah.
There's branding and there's marketing. Branding is what builds up. Marketing is what you use to sell.
Yep. There was a commercial years ago that caught my interest because I couldn't figure out why it did so well. And this is like early internet days, so data was small, but Checkers had a commercial, and it was the most annoying commercial I'd ever seen. Like they played it all the time, and it was like, I was like, why would they put out a commercial like that? And I'm finding myself talking to my mom, my dad, my cousin, be like, a stupid ass commercial, all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. And I read about it. It was meant to be that way. But it was smart because they still showed the brand. It was funny, but it got on my nerves on purpose. And that was smart marketing by them.
Yeah, it's the same thing Cracker Barrel did, right? Oh, we're going to change the logo.
There you go.
How many people went to Cracker Barrel that next day?
Yeah.
All right.
And guess,
and voice their opinion. People in their 70s
and it just
were in
happened
their...
to get reverted back, right?
There were picket lines across
genius.
America.
No one talked about Cracker Barrel. Everyone liked Cracker Barrel. You've been there a time or two, right? But when you're like, they're about to take my old man Cracker Barrel sign, hell no, I'm going there right now.
Yeah.
Do that.
Writing a letter to the CEO.
That's right.
Oh my God, dude.
I love marketing. Like, it's in college, I went to school to be a CPA. My dad's a CPA. I was going to take over his firm.
Wow.
I was going to be an accountant, go do that. Halfway through, I'm like, this is not fun. I can't do this for the rest of my life. So I switched to marketing, and a big influence for me was, like, not going to lie, like, I had just turned 21 and the Dilly Dilly Bud Light campaign came out. And I'm like, I want to create stuff like this. Things that get people moving in an activity to do things. And I think, like, that's why I try to Frogg Toggs. Like, everywhere you went, at any house I went to see anybody's, like, everyone just said Dilly Dilly. Like, and we all talked like we were, peasants from some kingdom. And it just made people act different. And I wanted to help brands make impacts that were fun. And also, even people who didn't drink Bud Light, like, you were going and getting Bud Light at that time just so you could walk around and say Dilly Dilly and act like an idiot.
Well, sure. Like, we used to do it back in the day that you could have a Bud Light just so you go, what up? What up?
Even the Budweiser Frogs, like, it's always been a great position.
Yeah.
And I don't know, just the ability to impact people is just super cool.
They did great outside of making Kid Rock really mad. That was the only flop they probably ever had at Anheuser-Busch.
That was that's what I did in between my two fishing jobs. Is I worked at a distribution company selling Budweiser and Anheuser-Busch products.
Oh, really?
Oh, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
How, dude, I bet that was a grind. Or no,
It was a lot. When you start in the sales, you're usually just a stocker because they want you to learn those accounts. You have to go and just, like, Walmart doesn't stock beer in their own coolers, right? Why would that make sense? So I have to go to every Walmart we have and stock coolers with the beer.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah, I'm happy I didn't have to keep doing that forever.
Oh I would imagine that would be a tough world to live in just because it's so saturated too,
Yeah, I mean, you're always just competing for, a banner, a sticker. Hey, can you put our case in front of the door and take that case down? Hey, we'll give you an umbrella. We'll give you an LED sign. There's just so many things you use to be competitive. And, like, it was big wins when, like, hey, so-and-so liquor store is taking down the Miller Lite sign and they're putting up a Bud Light. And, like, oh, my God, that's awesome. Let's go.
I've always wondered about that because you always see, like, you'll see – I don't know. One I saw the other day is like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson with some like tequila brand or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, it's so competitive. So competitive. And like, it's just, you're just trying to do like favor after favor for the owner. It's like, hey, listen, we're going to be getting this new stuff in. Like Bush Apple could get to your store before some others, if you change this sign out.
Dude, that's great. It's always fun hearing the back end stories of like what people have done. Like when you were talking about your story from being a CPA and then getting into what you got into, a guy that had a similar story on here was Brock Miller, who has that Zook Fishing and another brand, some Top Water Fishing or something. But his story is very similar. Like went into got into a corporate job out of college and was just like, I hate this. It was like, and then basically just got into what he's doing. But it's cool to hear that and share that, because I'm sure there's other people in those situations that, like I said at the beginning of the podcast, it's like we're all either kind of like in a position to try to build their own thing or try to do it as a side hustle or whatever it might be. So I always love hearing those stories.
Yeah. It's more attainable to do anything now than it ever has been. So
yeah, the amount of work you can get done in an hour every night. I mean, if you really try, you can get a lot done.
Yep.
So what, before we get out here, what are some exciting stuff that, you're excited just to talk about with the Frogg Toggs world? Or obviously you guys are going to be at Ducks, you're going to be at Delta, all those kind of things.
So this year's actually our 30th anniversary. Frogg Toggs started
sweet.
in 1996. So it's our 30th year of business. So we're going to have some free, cool, super cool giveaway stuff at ICAST. So if you're at ICAST, come see us in the booth. We're going to have t-shirts and big old school like 90s mugs to give out that'll all be branded for Frogg Toggs. At the Duck Show, we'll be there. We'll be at Delta. That's really the only trade shows we do. We're getting a brand new booth this year for ICAST. Big investment for us just to kind of showcase the 30th years of business. So we'll be bringing that to Ducks and Delta and probably be going to some new shows. So if anybody has a spot you think we would do good, send it my way. On top of that, there's a lot of new products coming out. We are big in rainwear, wadewear. We have a ton of footwear that people aren't aware of. We do tackle storage that people aren't really aware of. And on the clothing side, I'm really just trying to the team is trying to add more SKUs like hats, hoodies, stuff that if you're a fan of our gear, you're going to be a fan of this stuff to just wear. If it's, performance fishing pants, sun hoodies, t-shirts, quarter zips, stuff you can wear golfing. Anyone who's a Frogg Togg fan, you're gonna be able to do whatever you like doing in Frogg Toggs going forward. So that's something I really want to just complete. I still, like every once in a while I have to bust out an Eddie Bauer jacket. I feel kind of like a jerk wearing an Eddie Bauer jacket. So it's like nice to kind of get a bunch of SKUs that like I know I won't need anything else other than Frogg Toggs to do whatever I need to do.
Well, and I think it's a good cred to Will and Melanie and the ownership there at Frogg Toggs that they respect your vision. Obviously, you have created a slate that respects that, and I think that's incredible. Because I mean, in my lifetime, I've seen so many times where you have these incredible people or incredible opportunities, and ownership are just stuck in their ways, right? And they'll just let that company grind to the ground based on that ownership's belief or whatever it might be. And I think that is respectable to point out, is that they believe in you. And I think it just shows off their great ownership.
It truly is the greatest team I've ever been a part of, plain and simple. It truly is just a blessing to work at this organization. Everyone there is a team, closer to family than they are to coworkers. It's been nothing but the best.
One kind of another social media thing, but it's got me thinking about some of the new stuff that you guys have done with TikTok shop. How big of a were you guys like, wow, this was awesome getting on here, or like was it, what was your kind of feelings with how it was gone?
So I think we can go into a quick pigeonhole. It's super different for every single person, whether you're looking to get on it or not. For us, it excels in that like $20 to $70 product range, which we have a ton of, especially footwear. So it's not like every single SKU we have is just flying off the shelves. It's kind of like a wave. Every once in a while, it's like it takes one video to go viral, like your jacket video, or was it a jacket or what was it for you?
The jacket did good, and then those dang waiter bags, dude. Like,
those were so.
But you mentioned they're like $49 or $50. Like,
so like let's talk about the jacket. Jacket was like right at $99, and it's a great jacket. It's like way warmer than you ever would think. Yeah. The jacket did great for us on TikTok Shop because it was super stylish. It was a good price point. We said it was on sale. I think it was $10 cheaper than it was online. Your video did super good. Someone else buys that jacket or asks for a sample, they make a video that does super good. 5 more people make a video. That all 5 of their videos do great. 5 more people make a video off of each 5 of that video. That's how it works for us. We don't pay to advertise on that app. We really just wanted this past year to see what it could do naturally.
Yeah.
And that's really what it works is you just need to find, we have a really good group of people that we work with now that when there's a product we want to push for a couple of months, we send that out. Those videos go good. The people see those videos, they make their own. Then people see those videos, they get the product, they make their own. And the super cool thing about being a company that's been in business for 30 years is there's so many people that already have these products. We don't need to send samples to them. They're already making videos and they're already promoting and earning money on TikTok.
Yeah,
So,
no, that's a great point. And the brand awareness factor.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I know that brand. I see them in Bass Pro. Okay, this is sweet. I didn't know they had shoes. You know, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I'm not pushing rain suits as much on there. I'm not pushing waders as much on there. It's stuff people know us for. It's the Javas, the deck boots, the stuff like the jacket, like stuff that I think we should be known for. Because like that deck boot, and I've owned a bunch of deck boots, like is by far my favorite deck boot.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It's great. The Javas are super comfortable. Like there's stuff that people don't know we have. That once they know we have it, it's like, oh, $90 for a deck boot, no problem. Go for it.
Dude, my wife always says to me all the time, she goes, all you do is walk around in those Frogg Toggs shoes. I mean, it's all the time. Like I'm taking my dog out to pee. It's like a slipper. You know, if I'm at hunting camp, I got them on. And literally, there's been 2 pair, Donnie, and no bullshit, that I've replaced with y'all only because I wore the soles off.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like at the front where the ball of my foot touches, I wore it all the way clean through, no stitching detachment, nothing. That was it. And I'm like, I'll wear these until the day I die, bear me and Frogg Toggs.
We try to just cover your
That's a hat, by the way.
head to toe for every situation you need.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, man. And I mean, you know us, we're ready for it. That's kind of our MO is we're pretty Frogg Toggs brand loyal.
Oh no, dude. And I think that and I'm gonna toot our own horn here, but it's only because it happens organically because of what you guys have done for us. Is that, you know, tip number 1, if you're gonna work with any brand, overdo it with always give them more than what they give you. Yeah. Always. If you give, it's just simple. It goes all the way to the Bible, right?
Yeah.
You give. Don't expect to receive, but give without the expectation. You know what I mean? And just always keep doing that. And you guys have been part of us from literally almost day one. And like you said earlier, sometimes it's just about luck and timing. And in that case, it was. And there's transition of some folks. And thank you for those folks that helped us, literally down to the social media manager at that time that helped us do that. But it's easy for us. You guys make it easy for us to stand proud. You know, we've all had day jobs where somebody's trying to get you to preach this certain message that you don't believe in or something like that, right? And you're like, how can I stay here working here if I don't believe in the brand and all that? And you guys make it super easy for us, Donnie and Will and Melanie and everybody at Frogg Toggs. You really do. You make it easy.
Yeah, thank you guys for all you guys do.
I mean, we can't
thank you
enough.
guys. And, you know, kind of bring it full circle, like you said, as far as like over delivering and reaching out to brands. There's a lot of times, like, if you want to get in this industry, you should send that message on a DM, but like make it stand out. Like, there's a lot of times, like, you talk about giving and not expecting to receive. When I send products out for free, I'd say 50% of the time I don't get anything back.
Wow.
So just making sure you send something back, right? You're already in front of them. Sending something back that's memorable, anything you need product-wise for the rest of your life, like, you will have it if you just keep that consistency with me. So I think that's a huge message, is just be ready to overdo it. And I'm going to overdo it for you. You're going to ask for 1 shoe. I'm going to send you 5 in a tackle box. You know, like, that's just how I like to make sure you have everything you need. And when you ask for something, I want to make an impact with you, showing that you're ready to make an impact to me.
And that's a partnership, really, at the end of the day, because that's where the missing link is. It's like, are you in this to be a one-sided thing or a partnership, you know?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, actions are louder than words, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's where it is. It really is. It's just down to that, is actions are louder than words. And you know, you guys have just I don't know. I mean, I tell my wife all the time. The only thing my wife gets mad about with our relationship is she goes, I want to show off some Frogg Toggs stuff. And I'm like, well, do you use social media? She's like, no. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry. We can't have you.
I tell her, then I don't see you in the duck blind with us, so what's the problem?
That's right. But somebody like Kade, for example, she does get out there. She does do these things. And you know, I mean, I'm not trying to stereotype, but you know, there's more people interested in your younger generation of people than 53-year-old women. So, but guess what? If my wife sees something that she likes, Donnie, I might have to call you because she will frog them togs.
There you go. Hey, we just got a bunch of new female flip-flops in, so beach season's just around the corner.
Let's go.
There it is. Well, man, thank you so much for hopping on here with us again. You know, obviously it's one of these things we'll do every 6 months or so as things change. So maybe we'll get you again right before duck season or something. But, dude, thank you. And just tell everybody where they can get in touch with you, follow you, and obviously Frogg Toggs.
Yeah, Frogg Toggs. Everything on social is just Frogg Toggs. You'll find it no problem. It's frogtoggs.com for any of the stuff we talked about, gear-wise, waders, whatever, fishing, hunting, etc. For me personally, it's Donny the Mullet on TikTok and Instagram, underscore in between the words. So, yeah, that's about all I got.
Awesome, brother.
Right on. Well, Donny, you know what? It's one hell of a life.
That's right. It's one hell of a life.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me on. I'm sure I'll see you.
I've been hellbound, riding on a midnight train. Going too fast now, think I ought to slow down, standing in the pouring rain.